Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to today's edition of The Law and You. I'm your host, yours truly, Attorney at Law Shellon Washington, licensed in the state of New York, in my home country, Guyana, and in the Twin Island of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, we're going to be discussing something really important. I think it's important that people understand how to resolve issues in an amicable manner because if you learn how to do this, you'll save yourself a lot of stress and headache in the long run. Today we're going to be discussing amicable resolution of your divorce proceeding, where you have assets. Because guys, just note that 99% of the times, the fights that I see between couples only happens because they have assets, and one party does not want to share the asset, or one party feel that it's unfair, or the other party is attempting to get something that they're not entitled to, and the other party feels, okay, this is not fair to me because I don't think you contributed anything, you didn't do anything to this. Guys, recently I've seen a divorce where the parties did a really good job. I commended them for the amicable resolution of their marriage. When I tell you, this party did not fight, did not have any dispute between themselves when it comes to the asset, I was shocked. And obviously there was a money spouse, and then there was the non-money spouse, and the non-money spouse did not really fight for anything much. All the non-money spouse wanted to be was to be treated fairly with not asking for too much, so it made it easy, and in that way they cut out the possibility of overspending just to go through something that could have cost them less if they decided to do it amicably. And one of the ways I think people need to learn, if you want to resolve your dispute amicable, is learn ways to settle things, alternative ways to settle your dispute other than just a one-way street. Typically, in order to resolve a problem, people do either one of two things. Number one, they decide, okay, you keep your assets and I keep mine. Sometimes that's the perfect resolution if both spouses are considered money spouses. They both have equal amount of money, retirement accounts have money. And let's say they just have like one house, which I've seen this happen. So then they decide to split the house. You keep your pension, I keep my pension, and that's it. Or alternatively, they just split everything 50-50 down the middle. And if you learn how to get this done very easily, it saves you a lot of time. And guys, when I'm speaking about an amicable resolution, this is only in the case where somebody does not have a prenuptial or a postnuptial. Last week we spoke about that. So it's only applicable where neither is present, and you want to bring your divorce to a quick conclusion rather than have it taking a long time to go through the process. As you know, the courts is not going to move your case any faster than the time that the court has to dissolve it. So if it's a situation where you have your case on the calendar because you have a contested matrimonial matter, it's going to take its time for the judge to hear it, the judge to make a decision, the judge to calendar it, because obviously you're not the only case that the judge has on his or her calendar. So it's going to take its time to go through that process. Whereas if you and your spouse agree, okay, let's sit with our attorneys, let's try to see how we can work out resolution to our problem, because obviously both of us need to go our separate ways, but we need a peaceful resolution where at the end of this we will remain friendly with each other and we will not be fighting with each other. And one of the easiest way to do that, like I said, is that the parties just need to understand how to find a resolution for what the issue is. If the issue is one party is thinking, okay, I'm entitled to more of this particular asset than you are, then the parties could simply say, okay, maybe we can split this one particular asset 60-40 or 20-80 or 85-15, because at the end of this I will still have something, but the reality is you contributed most to that particular asset, so I'm not going to ask for something that I'm not entitled to. It's always better to have a remember, peaceful resolution is better than fighting. When you're fighting and it's a lengthy battle, it's costing you two things. It's costing you your peace, it's causing you stress, and it's definitely taking time. A lot of times people have to take time off from work. They need like multiple days off to make court appearances. Sometimes it's not always feasible to take multiple days off from work and appear in court. And in some instances, if you're not able to come to a resolution with an issue with your spouse, it turns out that somebody's going to make the decision for you. If you can't come to a decision, if you can't agree to a decision, somebody else is going to make that decision for you, and that's most likely to be a judge. He's going to make that decision for you, he or she. And if you feel comfortable having your life in the hands of a judge and having a judge make a decision for you, that is totally up to you. That's if that's the way you choose to run your life. It's a decision that you'll be making on your own. But I mostly tend to encourage people that, at the end of any litigation, number one, you don't want to send yourself in a position where you're in a financial hole, number one. And number two, you want to get the best possible outcome that is suitable for you. Even if it doesn't mean it's exactly what you want. You might have in mind of getting yourself something, one particular thing, but it sometimes if somebody else is helping you make that decision, it takes away from it. And I realize that there are a lot of parents out there that they don't understand the importance of working out a settlement with their spouse, especially if you have children involved. Having children involved in this thing where you're back and forth, you're litigating, it's a lengthy process. If you're stressed and your children are seeing you stressed, then it's going to affect them also. But if you can work things out easily and quickly, it's not going to be a situation where you're going to be stressing yourself, you're stressing your children, everybody else around you is stressed. You can get it done in an amicable way, amicable resolution, and both parties could walk away. There's something called mediation. You can submit yourself to mediation. And a lot of times, mediation is helpful. But again, the mediation is just another third party making decisions for your life that may not be beneficial to your children. The end results or the end goal is to make decisions that are going to benefit your children, not you necessarily. I've seen people put their property into a trust because they knew that at the end of the day, the children are going to be the one to benefit from having the property in a trust, and the children are the beneficiaries at the end of the day. That's an easy way to resolve a divorce where both parties have where they acquired assets during the marriage, but they're having a problem of how do we split this, how do we you can easily put it in a trust. If it goes into a trust, it makes your life and your spouse life a little bit easier, because then it'll be for the benefit of your children. Okay, if you decide to split it, which is not often recommended, one of the ways to build generational wealth is to keep assets in one place versus splitting it up in pieces and giving one person a percentage and somebody else a percentage. That makes it difficult. But if you can keep your assets together, meaning even if you're divorcing, the asset stays in one place, then that's healthy for your children. You can pass down that generational wealth through a trust or some means so that, it doesn't matter what happened, what's the status of the relationship between the husband and the wife. At least the assets will remain intact for the benefit of those who matters the most. Because often when parties divorce, they might end up remarrying. Most times the husband ends up remarrying and he might have a wife, or the wife might end up remarrying and she might have a new husband. And you don't want those assets to be for the benefit of anybody else except the people who matters the most in the relationship, which are your children. Your children are very important. And I think one of the easiest way to have an amicable resolution in a divorce where assets are involved is putting all the assets in the trust. If you don't want to put the asset in the trust, you and your spouse should discuss one of the ways you think is more beneficial to the whole family, how to resolve the issue before you even get the court involved, or even get an attorney, because once the attorney's involved, you have to pay the attorney fees. There's no question about that. Okay, guys, thank you so much. This show is brought to you by the Washington Law Firm. This and all the other shows are brought to you by the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. We're on the second floor. Guys, again, if you need consultation, you just give the number a call. 718-877-3100 is the phone number to call. We are available Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Consultation is free at no cost to you. And guys, if there's anything in particular you would like to hear me discuss on these shows, remember, you can email me, or you can send a message via Messenger right here on Facebook, and I will get your message. Washington Law Firm do accept direct messages. So you can send a direct message there, or you can just call the office at 718-877-3100. Guys, I hope this was helpful in terms of getting you to a place where you understand what you need to do if you would like to settle your divorce where you have assets in an amicable manner without having to do too much litigating. All right. Hopefully, this was helpful. And again, if you have questions or you need further advice, consultation, give the office a call Monday to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., 718-877-3100. Thanks again, guys. And I will see you next week again at 4:30.